that is a believer in the idea, the concepts of liberty and freedom and everything. And I am someone that also calls for the responsible reopening of the economy. I think it's ridiculous that we look at New York and Wyoming as the same way when they're completely different. And the second that you put out there that we should have a responsible reopening of the economy, and I phrased it that way on purpose, well, then you just want people to die. You don't care about old people. And that's the response I get. And when that response didn't work, the go-to line, as you just said, was about racism. That now you're racist. You know, once the protests started about reopening government, well, now it's a racist movement that you just want to see black and brown people die of the coronavirus. And this is where I think one of your key takeaways and one of the important parts of your book is that the left is involved in shaming culture. They're involved in shaming people in order to get them to silence themselves, censor themselves, and obey what they believe. You highlight the importance of free thinking. That free thinking is what equals freedom. I mean, essentially, that is freedom. And if we don't have that ability, then we lose everything. Do you find it really disturbing when the left sits there and they look at America's principles, our philosophical principles of liberty and freedom, and they start to label it as right-wing, as alt-right, as radical? I mean, I sit there and I say, well, when did believing in the Constitution and liberty become radical concepts?
This is a great question. There's so much we could do with this. You know, first off, just on the corona part, which you're totally right about. You put out there responsible reopening of the economy. Let's really look at the numbers and figure out, can we get younger people that have quarantined properly to go back to work? Can we do things at restaurants where we'll remove some tables? I mean, responsible is the key word. And instead of having a nuanced argument back to you, they tell you you're a racist or a bigot or you want old people to die. I mean, this is crazy level stuff, but it's very hard to fight against because, you know, if we were picturing like, you know, a boxing match, you got two guys that are roughly, you know, well, they're hopefully playing by the same rules, but they roughly have the same physical attributes and, you know, may the best fighter win. But in this case, it's like you're trying to fight fairly and you're fighting like this amorphous blob that fights by no rules, right? And that's a huge